Hey, everybody. Okay. This is Kim Jacobs with the Kim Jacobs Show. You may hear some clicking and stuff, so just bear with it. I'm going to mute you for 1 second, Mark Andy, because there's some clicking back there. Um, you may hear some clicking and everything because he's on the road, but I wanted to come on and talk to you all real briefly. Now, listen, as a talk show host, it's one thing, when I'm going and trying to make an impact in people's lives, providing real, relevant, relatable content. And I know my purpose in life. I know that part of my life's purpose is to impact the masses and to help bring positive change in people's lives, women, men, anybody that have circumstances, situations, because I've been in circumstances and situations. So I know that things can look really bleak and like the whole weight of the world is on your shoulder. But at the end of the day, I just believe that God allows people to come into your life and you cross paths with them for a reason. And so today, I am going to share with you all Mark Anthony Storm. He is actually my guest that's already been on the show before. So many of you have already seen him. He talked about his. I'm waiting for some different people to come on here and make sure I give people a chance to chime in. But he came on, even if you're watching the replay, that's fine. But he came on as my guest earlier and talked about transforming from Wall Street to being on the road as a trucker and the life of a trucker and why he does what he does. But right now, I'm going to have him come on and talk to you about something that he's experiencing. And I think that you all should know based on him sharing it with you and what we can do about it. Okay. Mark?
Hi, Kim. Thank you for having me back. I really appreciate it. Um, yeah, I guess we can talk about my situation. We didn't get a chance to speak about it the other day, so I guess if you're ready, or I'll go with your lead.
Okay, yeah. So, what many of you got to hear his backstory on why he does what he does, as far as being a trucker, being in the open road, and sharing his life from that perspective. But you didn't get to hear what him and his family are experiencing right now due to COVID-19. So I want to give you the floor, Mark, and you can talk from whatever perspective you'd like to. I will let you know that what he's talking about, I'll give you at the end a way to support his what he's going through. Okay, go ahead, Mark.
Okay. So it all started back, when the pandemic was very new in February. Most people, just heard about it as something that was, out there. In fact, you might have just thought, well, it's over there. It's not going to come over here, because that's the way it was being portrayed. And only maybe 12 people or whatever the number was. It was like super low. 15. It's not going to go higher than that. And you believe in that, because you're trusting the authority, the person who's putting that out there, or at least hoping that the person is putting out the right information, because
Right.
this will affect everyone. But in February, I was driving. I had just come from Seattle and Washington, which is actually where the first known case was. And I had come from there. I made it back to Concord. I was just passing through on my way to Delaware, to Pottsville, PA, to make a delivery. I had stopped at the Cracker Barrel in the morning. I have this thing for the chocolate chip pancake, and I had to have it, because when you're on the road, believe me, the food that you get is you're eating junk food. It's
Right.
bad for you. And so I stopped at the Cracker Barrel. I wanted to have that taste. And as I'm sitting there, I had noticed a little bit of something, in behind, in my throat, behind my nose. And I thought, oh, it feels like I'm getting a cold or something is going to be coming on. I know it's coming, because that feeling is there. And so I didn't think much of it. And I went on. In fact, I even was developing a cough.
Right.
So I eat my food. I pretty much left the early afternoon and headed up to Pottsville, PA. By nighttime, I'm not just feeling, the cough and that feeling, but my bones are starting to hurt. And I'm thinking, I must be getting a little flu bug or something. It'll probably go away.
Right.
It's nothing. I delivered in Pottsville. I went the next day. I proceeded to Wilmington, Delaware, to do my next pickup, going to Minnesota. I get to Wilmington, and about roughly around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm being loaded there, bananas, and I started feeling like a lot worse. Okay, I'm feeling something pulling down my bones. I'm feeling sick at this place, but I'm not saying anything. I
Right.
just keep on going until I mean, I'm not going to stop. I will if I can't drive. Then I can't drive. But as long as I can breathe, as long as I can, see, think, whatever, I'm going to keep going. But I pick up the load. I end up going to the truck stop a few blocks away, and I'm going to shut down there. I'll start up, tomorrow, and
Right.
see if I can push through this a little bit. But as night fall begins, I mean, the pain starts to increase. The headache, I never get like serious headaches, or migraines or something like that. And I'm getting this headache that is just intensifying, just like getting worse and worse and worse. So I do keep a leave because it's one of the strongest things you can take
Right.
for as a medication over the counter. And so I take the Aleve, and it's alleviating the headache. But as I go to sleep, I'm feeling this headache and body aches that are just honestly in the middle of the night. I'm already starting to hallucinate, and I'm feeling a pain like I've just never felt, in my adult life. And in fact, I started to feel as if like my kidneys. Sorry about that, a little phone interruption.
Oh, that's
Um,
okay. Go
so
ahead.
I'm starting to feel as if my kidneys are going to explode out my back, and it was a horrible night of trying to sleep, and I was sweating like crazy, and but also feeling cold. It was the weirdest thing. I'm cold, but I'm sweating really bad, and by the next morning, I'm like so congested. I get out the truck, I go to use the restroom, I go to get some food, something to hydrate myself, water, and I gotta get past this, whatever it is, I don't know. And but it just stayed around for about a week. By the time I got to Minnesota, I had done a video saying I survived, or no, I recovered. Recovering from COVID-19 is what I put up.
Oh,
And
man.
now I was kind of like joking a little bit, but inside I'm thinking that was the most serious sickness I have felt. And I'm wondering, like, and I still had it, was still lingering. And I'm wondering, like, what is this? And it wasn't until I started hearing more and more people are being affected by this thing that's just ravishing the land. And then,
Right.
what's his name? Chris Cuomo, okay, from CNN.
Right.
He gave a description of what he was going through. And his description was verbatim exactly what I was having, with the
Okay.
hallucinations, with the pain, like you're going to die. And so, anyway, I had told Natalia about it, my fiance, and but within about a week and a half or so, okay, she developed something, and she was getting these really, really bad headaches, and it was scaring me because I'm thinking I brought this home to her, or I gave this to her, and so she's going through it. But fortunately, she was able to kick it, after about a week. But still, what she was going through, I just felt really, really, really bad. And then March 16th came, and she was let go because the whole country had shut down.
Right.
Now, I wasn't anticipating, the weight of, all the bills, falling on me. And I try to have a brave, look, upon, whatever it is, don't cave in, don't give up, and don't, think negatively. But, the bills start coming in, and then pay is not the same because businesses are also, either shutting down, or there's like all these delays, and the more delays there were, the more I get paid by the mile. And if I'm not running the truck like right now, then I'm losing, money. And so more and more, it's just these different things were just, just coming in, and the bills are coming in. I was thinking, okay, like I didn't have enough money to pay the rent, but I did have enough money maybe to pay off one of her credit cards to take off some of the load off of her, and make her feel just a little bit easier. And so I'm redirecting, money wherever I can to try to create some type of balance, like your channel. I'm trying to create a balance, and I can try to recover and cover the rent, at some point. And also the Pathlight, who we are it's a rent to own, but they're telling me, oh, everything's okay, don't worry. Everyone's going through COVID-19, so everything is going to be put on hold,
Right.
and we're going to be there for you at the end. No, that's not the way, because I kept on trying to reach out to them to make sure that we're okay along the way. But then I'm starting to see that they're calling less. They're pretending to show, that they care. But the one person I need to speak to, who actually called today for the first time, called today and then disappeared after she said she was going to call me back. and I'm not hearing anything. But then June comes along. Okay, I'm already going through some troubles there, and that's when the accident. The drunk driver. She blew a .5. He had a suspended license, but they had run into my truck, and that just compounded, even more. Where it's like now I'm not getting the miles. Now I have a truck that's in the shop. Now a truck that also I have to pay insurance toward, a $5,000 what do you call it, deductible. I mean, it was just more and more was coming at me. I don't tell Natalia, oh, this is your fault. You need to go back to work. I just take it on myself. I let her know, babe, you're doing what you can. Okay. If the job's not open, there's nothing you can do. And I don't need you to get sick and get your mom and dad sick. Her mom and dad are in from the Ukraine. And so I'm not going to put 70-year-olds on an airplane back to the Ukraine so that they can die just because I didn't want to, take care of them. Or it's like, why would I do that? And so it just more and more it started to compound, and then finally here we are, August, the end of August 31st. I have a sheriff show up at the door, no warning or anything, and they present Natalia with this letter, and so she's on the phone with me, telling me, I thought you had it under control. I thought they said, that they were working with you, and it's like, yeah, that's what they told us. That's what they said, and so the amount, is like about. It's over, but it's 11,000, plus, and so it just, that right now, with all that we're going through, and I never took time off. That's the other thing. Through the sickness, through the truck breaking down, I never said, well, I think I'm going to need 2 weeks, to like get my senses together. The accident was on a Saturday. On Monday, I was in a rental truck, still taking. The trailer never broke apart, so I took that load, to its destination in Mount Jackson, and just kept on going. And my thing has always been just keep going. I mean, she may not be able to work, but I still have, my capability. I still have, the will and determination to make it, to try to, to solve this problem and to make things right. And so it's never been, something to like, well, I'm going to collect, from the government. In fact, I never even applied for their whatever it is, they were giving away. I didn't want it. I didn't want nothing to do with it. I just want to do what I need to be doing, to get to where, we have to be, and make sure that Natalia is never, put in the street. And it's Natalia, her 2 daughters, and her mom and dad. And then I have my own son that I also pay child support for. And I never even waver on that. I want to make sure that no matter what, Alistair has a roof over his head. There is no excuse for it. And so this is what I've been going through. And now we're facing the eviction process, and it's just it's you can only do but so much. It would be different if COVID didn't happen and I just decided, okay, I'm not paying bills. But we were good all this time for the past 3 years, and then the COVID-19 came in, and it just put too much on my shoulders. And
that somebody must be calling into his phone. He's on the road, so he'll pop right back in.
Seems like the whole world wants to jump in, chime in.
No, it's okay.
That's okay.
I can hear you. Okay, it's a little static.
I'm hearing you. Hold on. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hear you. I think something cut off somewhere. I don't hear you, so I'm not sure. I can almost read your lips, but yeah.
We can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay, that's great. So I mean, that's my story. That's my situation, and I just don't want the family to end up on the street. I'm doing what I can, and I'm going to keep on going. And no matter what, I'm going to just keep on. I'm not going to stop. If I have to stay on the road and not see my family for 4 to 6 months or something, then, it's an unfortunate thing. That's the cards that have been dealt. But, whatever it takes is what I, have to try to do. But right now, the eviction thing is upon us. And, I don't want them to be in the street. I don't want Natalia to suffer something that she doesn't deserve. That she tries too hard, and she's just been too good of a person and too good to me to go through this. I didn't bring her from Mississippi to North Carolina so that she can suffer. So wow.
Oh, hold on. You know what? Somebody's calling his phone, but can you hear me, Mark? Mark.
Yeah, so I can't hear you. I do
Go,
have to get
go.
off the door here. So if you're okay, I mean, I don't know. I'd like to carry the story or carry the show, with you or for you at this point. But I have other people that need to get on this door here, and I have to.
No problem. I'm going to take it from here. I got it. I got it. You can
Okay.
go.
All right. Just
Okay.
give me a
And
text message. It was a pleasure, and thank you everyone for hearing my story.
yeah, I'm going to tell you all
just
how
thank you. Okay.
to.
God bless, and everyone just stay hopeful. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye.
Go ahead. You get off, and I'll tell them how to support. Bye-bye. Okay, so he's on the road literally and trying to. Let me go ahead and take him off the screen for a second. Listen, everybody. There comes a time in life when you are doing things in life and you know that you are put here for a purpose. You're not just put here just to be like, oh, happenstance and life is happening. In this case, this man and his family are facing eviction. The amount that's needed is $11,000 in order for them to stay the eviction. And so, as an opportunity on my platform, the Kim Jacobs Show, this man is a working citizen, productive citizen out trying to make a living for his family. He gets into a very near fatal truck, 18-wheeler type, that huge truck crashes, goes down over an embankment and ends up almost losing his life. So he has to have his truck down for a certain amount of time to get a new truck in place. His fiance, who works every day, does a great job with her job. Because she contracts COVID-19, she officially has to now stop her job because of the whole coronavirus outbreak that's happening. So life happened to them. And he was not expecting this. He wasn't even applying for different governmental assistant program type of things because he felt like, you know what? I'm a hardworking man. The people have already said they're going to work with me. The rental and home property people said that they got us. They're going to work with us during the pandemic. And on August 30th, guess what? The sheriff shows up to their door, or either August 31st, whatever. It's the end of August. The sheriff shows up with an eviction notice. So now he has him and his family until September 16th to get funds together to be able to stay this eviction. So if you're interested in supporting him and his family during this unforeseen situation, which 40 million Americans, by the way, according to statistics, 40 million Americans are facing eviction. So all of these places that have been telling you or saying to you, we're going to work with you during the pandemic, and when it's over, we'll come up with a plan that's just right for you. In some cases, that hasn't really worked for a lot of people. 40 million Americans that hasn't worked for. Now, we support all manner of things. We support when dogs are on and they're malnourished, or animals that need shelter. We support definitely third world countries and when they're in need of water and things of that nature. And guess what? We should support those causes because they're worthy to be supported as well. So I'm not saying this cause over that cause, but what I am saying is there is an American family right here in the United States, and it's only one that I'm highlighting because I don't know every situation, but the one that I'm aware of that's been brought to my attention, I'm bringing it to you. And I'm asking you to give some funds to help them stay their eviction. If you'd like to contribute in any way, shape, or form, you can send your contribution to Kim Jacobs Inc. or to paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. if you have PayPal. Or if you want to call and do a credit card payment, then just email me, kim@thebalancedoctor.tv, and I'll make sure you can get your credit card payment processed as well. And type in eviction. All of the funds, not $1 is staying with me. All of the funds that are given will be given directly to Mark Anthony Storms Gonzalez and his family to help stay the I keep saying conviction because there's so much criminal stuff happening in life, but to stay the eviction of his family from their home. Okay, I thought I'd just come on and let's see. I'm hiring Kim Jacobs. I'd love to hire him. Okay. And definitely you can offer your opportunities to him as well. He currently is a trucker. He works every day faithfully in the trucking industry and brings home good money for his family. But whenever this happened, his truck, he had a near fatal death truck accident that his entire load with him in the load went over an embankment. And so his truck was down for a short period of time and obviously caused a delay with some things with his house payments. And then his wife, his fiance who works in a restaurant, she contracted COVID-19 along with him and his immediate family. And during that time, they were all having to be quarantined, which then made them have some situations with their jobs temporarily. So a lot's been happening. And yes, this is happening across the country. Sean, thank you so much. You said you just contributed, and I do see, and I thank you so much. And those funds will go directly to him and his fiance and their family. And yes, Samantha, you can definitely reach out to Mark Anthony Storm and his family and see if they're interested in taking you up on your offer as well, because this is happening across the country. So thank you all so much for listening and for hearing this young man's plea of just requesting some help. It wasn't something he expected. In life, there are things that happen that we don't always expect, and things happen and they are way beyond our control in some instances. So I'm asking you all to consider donating to what he is in need of for his family right now. And I greatly appreciate it on behalf of the Kim Jacobs Show for whatever you are kind enough and able to do. And equally, even if you're not able to give any financial support, please pray for him, his family. Prayer does change things too. And people know what they've said over the course of time. We got you. We'll take care of you. Don't worry about with the coronavirus happening and the pandemic happening. We are working with all of our clients and different things like that. He needs prayer. His family needs prayer. So all of you that do believe in the power of praying, please pray for him and his family during this time as well. Okay, thank you for coming back on. Those that came on, please share this with your friends, your family, your coworkers, and ask people to contribute to this unforeseen situation. Mother Lofton, God bless you, Kim. We can do this. Yes, yes. And I know if you're at the head of it, Mother Lofton, then the power of prayer will be lifted up, and God hears your prayers. And I thank God for you leading the women's department the way that you do. You're a very hands-on leader, and I appreciate you. So yes, Cassandra, who's always helpful of everyone. And she helps people with legal paperwork and so many other things. She might be able to even help. Cassandra, you might be able to help draft something that can go to the actual owners of the facility where they stay, so that maybe something can be extended. That's why all of our leadership and expertise and our skill sets are needed in this world. Every one of us have a gift and we all have talents. If we have put those to use, then we're going to be able to move mountains as a team. So thank you. Thank you for highlighting this financial pandemic of what's happening across the country. Yes, Samantha, it's my honor and my privilege to do so. Once again, I'll just tell you how you can support this one family. You can send any contribution to Kim Jacobs Inc. or to paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. And you can type in eviction, and all of those funds will go to that family. If you'd like to pay by credit card, please just email me or inbox me, and I will let you know how to make a credit card payment or send you an invoice or something so that you can make a credit card payment as a contribution to this family. Thank you so much for coming back on for the special edition of the Kim Jacobs Show. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful holiday weekend, and hopefully we can provide enough funding to this family to help them take some stress off for this holiday weekend, being able to look forward to staying their eviction. All right. God bless you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Tuesday at 11 o'clock a.m.